In the heart of a sun-drenched African village, where the air is thick with the scent of earth, and the laughter of children dances on the breeze, there lived a woman named Amina. Amina was known for her resilience, her laughter, and the way her eyes sparkled like the stars that adorned the night sky. But behind that laughter lay a story, a tale of love and heartache that would ripple through the village like the gentle waves of a distant lake. Amina fell in love with Kofi when they were just children, their hands clasped together as they explored the sprawling fields of golden grass. Kofi was the son of the village chief, a boy with dreams as big as the sky above them. He spoke of traveling to distant lands, of adventure and discovery, while Amina found her joy in the simple beauty of their village life. Together they were inseparable, their bond forged in the innocence of youth. But as they grew older, life began to weave its intricate patterns. Kofi's father had grand plans for him, visions of leadership and responsibility that clashed with the carefree spirit of their childhood. The village elders whispered of arranged marriages, of alliances that would strengthen their community. And in those whispers, Amina felt the first pangs of fear. Would Kofi be taken from her, bound by duty rather than love? Time moved on, as it always does, and the seasons changed. The sun rose and set, marking the passage of days filled with laughter and unspoken worries. Amina watched as Kofi transformed from the boy she knew into a man of stature, his shoulders broadening under the weight of expectation. The village celebrated his coming of age, and with it, the talk of his future grew louder. The day came when Kofi was to choose a bride, and Amina's heart raced with a mixture of hope and despair. On the eve of that fateful day, Amina found herself at the riverbank, the water shimmering under the moonlight. It was their secret place, a sanctuary where they had shared dreams and fears. As she sat there, the memories flooded back, their laughter echoing off the rocks, the promise of forever in their youthful hearts. But now, the promise felt fragile, like a delicate flower on the brink of wilting. Kofi arrived, his expression a mix of determination and uncertainty. He sat beside her, and for a moment, they were children again, lost in the simplicity of their connection. But the weight of the world pressed down on them, and Amina could see the conflict in his eyes. "Amina," he began, his voice barely above a whisper, "I have to make a choice." Her heart sank. "I know," she replied, her voice trembling. "But what if you choose someone else?" Kofi turned to her, his eyes searching hers. "You're my heart, Amina. But my father, he has plans. I can't just walk away from my duty." Duty. The word hung in the air like a dark cloud, threatening to overshadow everything they had built. Amina felt a tear slip down her cheek, the weight of unspoken words heavy in her throat. "But what about us? What about our dreams?" Kofi took her hand, his grip firm, yet gentle. "I wish I could choose you. I wish I could tell my father that love should come before duty. But this is not just about me. It's about our families, our village." In that moment, Amina understood the complexity of love intertwined with responsibility. It was a lesson she had never wanted to learn, a truth that felt like a knife twisting in her heart. They sat in silence, the river flowing beside them, a reminder of the passage of time and the inevitability of change. The next day dawned bright and clear, the village bustling with preparations for Kofi's selection ceremony. Amina watched from a distance, her heart heavy as she saw Kofi adorned in ceremonial garb, a symbol of his impending commitment. The villagers gathered, their excitement palpable, but Amina felt like an outsider in her own life, a ghost haunting the edges of a celebration that was never meant for her. As Kofi stood before the crowd, his voice echoed with confidence. But Amina could see the flicker of doubt in his eyes, a reflection of the turmoil within. He spoke of unity, of honoring tradition, and as he announced his choice, Amina felt the ground beneath her feet shift. He had chosen another, a girl from a prominent family, someone who would elevate his status and fulfill his father's dreams. The village erupted in cheers, but for Amina, the world fell silent. She felt as if she were drowning in a sea of despair, her heart breaking into a million pieces. How could love, so pure and vibrant, be overshadowed by duty? How could the boy, who once whispered promises of forever, now stand before her, bound by chains of expectation? Days turned into weeks, and the village prepared for the wedding, a celebration that felt like a funeral to Amina. She wore a brave face, forcing herself to smile as she joined in the festivities. But inside, she was a storm of emotions: grief, anger, and a deep, aching sorrow. She watched Kofi from afar, his laughter ringing in her ears like a haunting melody, a reminder of what could have been. Then, one evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Amina found herself at the riverbank once more. It was a place of solace, a refuge from the heartache that consumed her. She sat on the banks, her feet dipped in the cool water, and let the tears flow freely. But then, she heard footsteps behind her. It was Kofi. He approached cautiously, as if afraid to disrupt the fragile peace of the moment. "Amina," he said softly, "I had to see you." Her heart raced, a mixture of hope and despair swirling within her. "Why, Kofi? Why did you choose her?" He sat beside her, the weight of the world evident on his shoulders. "I thought it was what I had to do, but every day since, I've felt the emptiness without you. I chose duty over love, and it's tearing me apart." Amina turned to him, her heart aching at the vulnerability in his eyes. "But what about your family, your responsibilities?" Kofi took a deep breath, his voice steadying. "I've realized that love is also a responsibility. It's not just about pleasing others. It's about being true to yourself. I can't live a life without you, Amina. I won't." In that moment, the world around them faded away. The river flowed gently, the stars began to twinkle above, and for the first time in weeks, Amina felt a flicker of hope. "But what can we do?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "We can fight for our love," Kofi replied, determination igniting in his eyes. "We can show the village that love is more powerful than tradition, that it can unite us rather than divide us." Amina felt a surge of courage. "Then let's do it. Let's show them that our love is worth fighting for." And so, they began their journey, an intense relationship forged in the fires of adversity. They spoke to the villagers, sharing their story, their dreams, their love. At first, the elders were resistant, clinging to the traditions that had governed their lives for generations. But slowly, Amina and Kofi's passion began to resonate. They saw the truth in their eyes, the depth of their connection, and the courage it took to stand against the tide of expectation. As the village gathered for the wedding of Kofi and his chosen bride, Amina stood at the forefront, her heart racing. She felt the weight of the moment, a culmination of love, loss, and the power of choice. When Kofi stepped forward, he did not simply choose a bride. He chose love, choosing Amina as his partner in life. The cheers that erupted were not just for a wedding, but for a love that had triumphed over adversity. Amina and Kofi stood together, hand in hand, ready to face the world. They had not only changed their own destinies, but had also begun to reshape the very fabric of their village, proving that love, in all its intensity, could conquer even the most daunting of challenges. And as the sun set, casting a golden glow over the village, Amina knew that this was just the beginning of their journey. A journey filled with love, laughter, and the promise of a future they would build together, one step at a time.